FIFA is approaching a very difficult time. With the split of EA and FIFA, so that EA are going to go off and create EA Sports FC, and FIFA is going to find a new game company to develop FIFA. From FIFA's point of view, they feel like they're holding all the cards, but really they're not. And in today's video, we're going to break down why. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking to take full advantage of FIFA 23, then there is no better place than SkyCoach. SkyCoach offers cheap, fast and reliable FIFA 23 coins. All you need to do is select how many you want, the platform you play on, and within just a few short hours, those coins will be added to your account, where you could do whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to go through FUT Draft over and over again to grind packs, you can do that. If you do just want to head to the store and buy packs, you can do that. Or if you just want to build an amazing team, you can also do that. A link can be found in the description down below, and if you use Fnatic at checkout, you'll also get a 10% discount.
Nice.
When EA and FIFA had their split after 30 years of working together, it was a shock. It's hard to imagine FIFA being developed by any other game company, but that's the direction that they're going in. Now for this video, I do want to focus on FIFA's side of things and not so much on EA's side. We have already done separate videos here on this channel about EA Sports FC, which is going to be the new game that they're developing and is scheduled to release sometime in September, October. In fact, EA Sports FC is going to be exactly the same as what we know FIFA is today. It's going to have the exact same game modes, but with FIFA, they've got nothing apart from the name. FIFA owns the licenses to 19,000 players, 700 teams, 100 stadiums, and over 30 leagues. This also includes the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, and UEFA. That's what EA were paying for initially. And of course, now with the split, FIFA, they're not making that much money from EA anymore. So they're going to look for other game companies where they can use these licenses in order to create more games, and they're going to make money from selling the licenses to those game studios. Back in 2022, when the split initially happened, this was a statement from FIFA. Giovanni Infantino said exactly that there will be more FIFAs within the future, and people don't buy the current FIFA because it's a game, they buy it because of the name. This was then backed up in March of 2023 when Giovanni Infantino went on to say this: the new FIFA game, the FIFA 25, 26, 27, and so on, will always be the best e-game for any girl or boy. We will have news on this very soon. Now, despite him being absolutely ripped apart by calling it an e-game, the other questions that have been raised, and the more important question, is who's going to be the game studio behind this? And to this, we don't really have an answer. Some have speculated that Konami could jump in after the complete failure of PES, which has just fallen off the face of the earth. This is their chance to get back in and compete against EA. Whereas others have been talking about 2K, which seems more likely. Rumors have spreaded that 2K has snapped up the FIFA license. 2K being behind NBA, PGA Tour, WWE, they actually have a good standing compared to Konami. Not to mention that EA themselves even took inspiration from 2K after the NBA career mode. That's what influenced the journey. The one thing that we do know, there won't be a FIFA 24. It sounds like it's going to be starting with FIFA 25, which will be released sometime towards the end of 2024. But here's where that puts FIFA in a very difficult position. That means EA has one whole year, and not just that, they've also got all the data and they know exactly what players like and what they don't like. They have all gameplay systems, all features, everything ready to go. EA Sports FC, with the leaks that have already been revealed, is pretty much FIFA. It's still going to have kickoff, it's still going to have ultimate team, it's still going to have career mode, it's going to have online seasons, tournaments, pro clubs, Volta, you name it. And there's also been additions from the leaks of an online career mode and also a women's career mode. The studios have all been set up and the processes are all in place on how to develop a yearly franchise. They have 2 or 3 main development teams which switch out every couple of years so that they have time to develop each and every game, with there also being shared resources between each and every single one of them. And with all of this, they also have the licenses. the individual licenses, so that more or less EA Sports FC is still going to be following the exact same upward trajectory that it has been following with FIFA. But FIFA, on the other hand, it has none of this. Yes, it has the licenses, but that means nothing if you don't have a game. And building a game's the hard part. Now, going back to that quote from Giovanni Infantino, where he does talk about FIFA being the only game available for football fans because of its name, well, there was a time where FIFA didn't dominate the gaming market. In fact, it was PES. And PES didn't have all the licenses. Hence why when you would go through the Premier League, there was not really a team name which was linked to the actual real team's name. You'd get teams such as Man Blue, which was Man City, as well as West London Blue, which was Chelsea. And despite this, there was a time where people would say that PES was FIFA's competitor. In fact, they had much better gameplay, and because of that, they went over. Not just that, but there were times, especially within FIFA's history, I'm thinking FIFA 15, where Ultimate Team was a complete mess. Due to a glitch, there was illegitimate coins hitting the transfer market, and of course, coin sellers took full advantage of this. They milked that glitch as much as possible to pour hundreds of millions of coins onto the transfer market. And because each coin selling site was doing this and competing against each other, it made buying coins very cheap. You could spend a couple quid and you'd be able to get hundreds of thousands of coins. It flooded the transfer market, and because everyone had coins, player prices skyrocketed. Normal Messi, normal Ronaldo, they would be 5, 6, 7 million coins each, and if you was trying to look for their informs, well, it wasn't uncommon for them to be 10 million plus. That's when EA had to introduce price ranges, but that didn't solve the problem during the time. In fact, it made players become even more extinct. That's when the sniping trader method came into play. But during this time, that's when people went over to PES. PES released a new game mode that year called My Club, and this was the Ultimate Team competitor. It was laid out fairly similar, except it was based around black balls, in which you would open instead of you opening packs. Because of the absolute chaos that FIFA faced, this was another year in which players swarmed to PES and played that instead. Which goes to show that FIFA, as in the name, is not the reason that people play FIFA. It's the gameplay. And even though gameplay, which is developed by EA, is not always the best, there's certainly a lot of complaints, especially coming from myself. But it still happens to be the best football simulation game that we have today. And that's what FIFA's competing against. I think their best chance is to go and get a game studio such as 2K, because they've had experience before in producing sport games. But it still doesn't mean that they're going to be able to dominate this market, even with the FIFA licenses behind them, because it's the systems in place that will influence that. If they're unable to make a good solid game, then it doesn't really matter about the licenses. And if 2K are unable to make a good game, then it means people are not going to be buying into that game for the following years. And if that's the case, then there's no way in which 2K could afford to buy into those licenses, which leads to FIFA needing to go back to square one, where they'll need to find a new game studio which is capable of fulfilling the needs of the consumer. And at that point, they're now several years behind EA. For FIFA to really dominate, they need to push something which players enjoy, but they also need EA to drop the ball. Right now in this battle, EA has the slight advantage because they have got all the systems in place and they're releasing this year. They are releasing EA Sports FC and they've already started advertising for it. They've been pushing announcements over the last year about the name change and trying to get players to jump on board with their game before FIFA does, to prevent any more confusion. For FIFA to really take a hold of this battle, they need EA to make the first move and they need them to fail miserably. Doing so will give some confidence that maybe towards the end of 2024, FIFA's going to be releasing their football game, and that's what people are going to be playing instead of whatever EA is developing. But based on timelines, it means EA is going to release EA Sports FC within 2023, sometime in September and then October. And then they've got a whole year to get things sorted for EA Sports 25, which will release sometime in September, maybe October of 2024. And it's at that point in which FIFA is also aiming to release their game. and that's if everything goes to plan. But from my personal opinion, I do not think it's going to work in FIFA's favor. I think this is a battle where they're going to struggle, and this is a battle where EA is most likely going to win. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you're interested more in game development, then we do already have another channel where we talk about game design and what it is like to be a game developer, including breaking down some of the more popular games that you play. If you're interested, there is a video on screen right now. You can click that and it'll take you directly over to that channel. It's a new channel, it's backed by many game developers as they're writing the scripts, and then I do the voiceover. And then you can have more of an idea of what FIFA really needs to do to be successful.